We're just about the last week of June now, and I thought I'd give you an update on the garden because everything's been growing a lot since I last did it. And show you roughly where we are and what we're going to be harvesting soon. Everything's been growing really well now over the last couple of weeks because the temperatures got really warm, both day and night, which has helped. Here are the sunflowers, which are now about 3 foot tall. These are my pots of herbs I have outside. The mint's doing well, and I feel like my parsley's doing pretty good as well. This is the cucumber greenhouse, and as you can see, the plants now are moving up, and I'm tying them in. And if you look, we have got some flower now and cucumbers, so those will start to fill out, which is quite nice. I'm watering these now every other day, and I'm feeding once a week. These are the peppers, chili peppers, and then normal peppers. Again, I'm watering every other day and feeding once a week. I'll probably up the watering. The vine here is now starting to show some grapes, and there's a number of them on the vine, as you can see. So that's all going well, and I keep tying this back to itself because it's taking over the top, but it's going well. This is the tomato greenhouse. Now I've got a lot of flower on these, and they're growing now, pushing up the sticks, and they are setting. We have some tomatoes which are starting to fill out now. Probably a few weeks before we'll be ready to harvest. I've got cherry and big ones. The cherries will obviously be ready first, but a couple of weeks to go. Feeding these every day, watering every day, and feeding twice a week now on these. These are my pumpkins. I've just planted them out. I've given them a good bit of space, so hopefully we'll get some nice pumpkins. And there's another load in here. Again, I put these pots there to water them, so even though they're in the ground, I tend, when I water the tomatoes, to give them a pot of water as well, because they do like it, like a lot of wet and a lot of feed. Peas have grown a lot in the last couple of weeks. Awful lot of flower on them now as well. And if you look, we've got pods, but we haven't yet got, they're not filling out yet, but they will come now in the next week or so. So we've got a lot of, hopefully going to get a good crop of peas. The big sweet corn, they're now starting to shoot up. This is the sprouts and the purple sprouting broccoli. These are the mini sweet corns, so they're all going good. And these are my broad beans, which are the second lot I grew, so there's a fair bit of flower on those now, so I'm hoping that they'll set. Here's the onions, so they've not got far to go before we start harvesting the onions. The bottom flowers don't seem to have done much on these big ones. They have put flowers up and starting to set further up the stalk, but we haven't got as many bottom ones on these big ones as I was hoping. You can see on the small ones they are, and you can see there's a couple there, a couple of broad beans there that are filling out now, which won't be too far away. And then there. Potatoes. Generally looking good. Flowers are up. So I'm about, I'd say, the flowers, you normally harvest these when the flowers drop, and about 15 to 16 weeks after you planted them for second early. 15-16 weeks will be about 3 weeks time. So I'll be keeping an eye on them now. So they probably now about mid mid-July I'll be harvesting them. These are the raspberries. These are autumn raspberries, so they just have been growing up from the ground. End of September or end of August, early September is when these normally fruit. These are my main onions, and as you can see, they're all looking pretty good and healthy. Probably another couple of weeks before I harvest them, and I keep an eye on them for them putting up seed heads, and if I see a seed head I'll just snap it off so it doesn't put its effort into the seed, it puts it into the ground, into the onion. Morena beans, these were slow to go, but as you can see they're now nearly now at the top of the sticks, and they're growing quite a bit all the time. I mentioned my cat thing in May. It didn't work with the red one, as you can tell by the bird droppings in amongst the runner beans. So I'm trying him as a white one to see if it works as a white one. Courgettes. Nice courgettes come in here. I will harvest some of these today because they literally grow overnight. So nice big flowers on them as well. One of the failures this year is my garlic. I don't know why, but they've just not been happy this year. And as you look, they're all there's not much there, and they're not looking very good. I will lift them now in a week or so's time just to see what's underneath, but not very good garlic this year. And I have put my leeks in the ground here. I did a separate video on how I did it, and these will just kick on now, and hopefully they'll be cropping them in the winter. I planted carrots in a bucket, and as you see I've got a lot of foliage here in it. I will thin these out a little bit now so it gives them space to grow, but they're doing quite nicely. And then in this bucket, these are parsnips. So I did them last year in a bucket as well, and they grew on quite well, to be honest, so I've tried it again. So, like I say, it's nearly end of June, everything's nice and growing well. Not a massive amount to do in the garden other than like cut edges and mow lawns and that. In terms of the crops, they're mainly in now, so it's just keep an eye on them, make sure nothing's eating them, and move on to the next stage, which will be harvesting, and that will be then as we move into July.